Still be surprising me like what I say to them. Why they with me? How I skate through so luckily. Pops got me. I feel like I'm cutlery. My circle Cheerio small. I don't need no company. I don't need new.
2K TV here with Anthony Davis. In your intro press conference to the Lakers, you said that you hopped right on 2K when you signed.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Some pretty sound advice. Thanks, DA. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Take a look at the Pistons. Down at 10th in the early going, looking to make a move up in the standings.
And right now for the Pistons, they've had an interesting season for sure. They're competitive, they're feisty, but they're not a team that's going to dominate for long stretches.
I just think if you're on the other side, Greg, how much are you looking at that team and saying, we're scared of them? So not a lot of fear from the opposition and what they're bringing to the table. They're good, they compete, but do they have that extra gear? I'm not sure.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. Clark is out there with Iguodala. Then it's Bam Adebayo, and it's Vucevic, and it's Tucker in at the small forward. And for Detroit, Parker out there with Collins, and it's Rudy Gobert. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie, and it's Williams at the 2 spot. Now Vucevic, after Spencer Dinwiddie missing on that last three-pointer. Shot clock at 3. And it's Vucevic missing. We're about 1 minute into the first. Dinwiddie against Iguodala. Iguodala with the steal. 13 feet away. They get the rebound. Tucker. Gobert with the block. There's the triple. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
And so far, the team just 1 of 5, and that rim shrinking.
Passes it to Dinwiddie. Back to Williams. Fires the 3. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
Yeah, as good as you can do without getting a block there to defend.
Poked away, and it's out of bounds to the Nuggets as Denver retains possession. Early part of the season, Brent, did you take a while to get back in the swing of things, or were you ready to go out of the gates?
In order to stay in the NBA, Kevin, no, I could not do that.
Right, yeah.
I could not do that.
You played 14 years.
But I loved coming into training camp, being in tip-top shape. It really was something I took a lot of pride in. Is that I wanted to be going so that our practices for our coaching staff was something we could get through. Now, I understood the role of other guys on the team where it might take a little while for them to get going, but for my mindset and my confidence in the year, I wanted to make sure that the off-season and the work that I was putting in, because that's where players improve the most, I was going to come into camp ready to go.
Oh, great ball movement there. Timeout. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. And going against Denver, their first meeting of the season.
Well, a chance to check out Andre Iguodala. Last season's performance for him. He averaged about 5 points per, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. We know that he can come up with the occasional big play, but his overall numbers haven't been impressive.
There is a bit of a feeling they're all looking to him to step up, and they know he's capable of doing it right now, just not getting it done.
And that ends the struggle. You could feel the tensions in the building with each miss.
Yeah, massive relief there, getting a little bit frustrating for them until that bucket.
Now here's Vucevic. Really played well against Sacramento in his last outing. Here's Tucker. Pass to Clark. Kicks it to Iguodala. 6 to shoot. Pass to Tucker for the 3. Rebound, Detroit.
Now, one player sometimes can drag down your offense, and he seems to be an anchor here in this quarter.
Iguodala against Williams. The pass to Dinwiddie. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
It's his first trip to the line.
And, you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
The Nuggets leading by 4. On the wing, it's Iguodala. Dinwiddie covering.
Iguodala is such a tough cover, very physical, and uses his body well that time to get the foul.
Denver shooting their first free throws of the game.
In the season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
He doesn't get the second one. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And here is Williams. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. From deep three-point range, he's off on that one. And that does it for the first quarter. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And from what we've been watching, guys, with the Nuggets, what are you seeing out there?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Just a great job, really, of making the game ugly, trying to muck it up a little bit out there.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And Detroit looking at who they've got. John Collins is out there with Gobert. Then it's Jabari Parker. Then it's Williams. And it's Dinwiddie in at point guard. Iguodala deciding where to go with it. And the rejection by Collins.
Good timing defensively. Collins just up there, the long arms, and quick off the deck.
Denver with the ball.
Out of Wake Forest, John Collins quickly emerging as a top-notch scorer. A tremendous finisher, and his range extends out beyond the arc.
Now here's Adebayo. He picked up 24 points in their last one against Sacramento.
Let's us not forget about the work on the glass, Kevin. His effort level was a 10 that night out of 10.
And so it's Dinwiddie who brings up the ball for the Pistons. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Outside, Williams takes the three. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Williams has got the lead up to 1 now for Detroit. And here's Denver. And players with big numbers on losing teams can be accused of empty stats. So, Greg, you take Collins's with a grain of salt?
You look at his field goal percentage, high 50s. He's not just a high usage player. He is highly efficient.
And with Andre Iguodala, he doesn't give you 20 points tonight like he once did, Greg, but he still shows up when you need him.
Iggy can still hit the switch, so to speak, and go back to his all-star level of play for stretches. I mean, the numbers don't jump out at you, but he is so valuable during big games, particularly in the postseason.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. There's Dinwiddie. The Nuggets getting the bucket. Pistons passing it around. Parker left side. Sweet move. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And he may not have gotten the same attention as some of the other picks back in the 2017 draft, Greg, but John Collins out of Wake Forest has been outstanding thus far in his career.
Really one of the league's best kept secrets. Tremendous athleticism, also great hands, and just has a knack for moving to the open spot around that rim.
That's tipped, stolen by Collins. Now Detroit moving it up. Dinwiddie outside. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
To the inside. The shot by Adebayo, no good.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, gotta chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
There's some ways to get your coach's attention, and that draws the coaching staff's ire.
Now here's Iguodala. 6 points for him. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Cowan.
Andre Iguodala about as reliable as it gets. Steve Kerr calls him the adult in the room.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Now Williams, he has 5. Out to the right wing. 3 seconds left. He got it up.
Iguodala getting his hands up, and it's...
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, it was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. They never got too far behind as their largest. Thanks for joining us.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You have to like what we're seeing from Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
Second half underway. Here's who Mike Malone's got on the floor. They've got Vucevic. Clark is out there with Iguodala. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Tucker in at the 3. Iguodala, that's good. Most every team now, Brent, looking to run when they can run. Who's the most lethal big man in transition? They can get baseline to baseline in a hurry and make a difference at the other end.
Don't think I've seen any player do the type of things at his size and with his stride than Giannis. I just think there were eye-popping plays that people could not wrap their head around what it is he could do. Taking 2 steps from half court, lengthening out his right arm to finish at the rim, grabbing offensive rebounds from the block, not taking any steps and dunking it over the top and getting to the free throw line. Giannis running in transition as a big is a problem for the defense.
And all that on the offense, but on his defensive side, he was always doing the same kind of things defensively. Blocking shots, blocking out, whatever the case may be.
Yep, causing, I mean, just the simple fact of being a deterrent, Kevin, to people coming into the lane and using that length. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo is something special in that regard as
Both
a big.
ends of the floor, I totally agree.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Clark, Gobert with the block, and they're able to recover. Vucevic with the bucket. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Williams. Oh, that's blocked.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
Shoots the 3. Tucker can't get it to go. Pistons trailed by 5. And if there was ever a definition of a glue guy, Greg, it would be P.J. Tucker. He's so valuable to his team.
You know, P.J. gives you production in every way, and his impact really goes beyond the stats. All the little things that coaches want their players to do, that's really the motto of Tucker's game.
Williams' shot is off.
Just cannot get anything to go. If there's going to be a way to get out of this hole, I don't think he'll be the one to do it.
Oh, why, dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. Detroit with the ball. The Nuggets getting the bucket. Here's Dinwiddie. That's tipped. And pushing it up. Here's Denver. Iguodala's running, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Using his height perfectly on the inside. Iguodala making the D get physical with his play.
This will make 4 trips to the line so far in the game.
and not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
Now here's Dinwiddie. 8 points for him. Collins passes to Parker. Clock at 6. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession.
And let's take a quick look at some stats for Rudy Gobert. Coming off a terrific season. Last season put up about 16 points a game, 13 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And his defensive presence inside, not to be overlooked. He builds a wall around the basket.
Yeah, over this whole last stretch of games, he's been shutting down the lane with total authority. Impressive stuff.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Williams. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
No, I haven't seen him in comfortable spots, or at least spots we've seen in this offensive set that are allowing him to settle in.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Here's Clark, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against Detroit.
The potential is there. For Clark, it's about expanding the range so that it makes him more versatile offensively.
And Detroit has possession. From deep. Off target with that shot.
A beast defensively.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Nuggets ahead, up by 12. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Spencer Dinwiddie out there with Lou Williams. Then it's John Collins. Then there's Parker, and it's Gobert in at the 5. That's the group for Detroit right now. Iguodala, no good. Pistons trail by 12. Now here's Williams. Out to the wing. Down low. Out to Parker. On the clock. Releases. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Especially in the playoffs, Brent, so much can change when a player gets in a foul trouble. See the league ever modifying that foul out rule?
I know that they do that in the summer league where you can stay on the court for 10 fouls as elimination, but it's a technical every time. I don't see the league doing that. I think it's good for the game so that star players or meaningful players, ones that play specifically on defense, they have to have responsibility for what it is that they're doing on the floor. And if they're overly aggressive, you should be penalized for playing that way.
Back to Iguodala. Passes to Vucevic. And no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. It's Parker with the drive. Nifty move. Denver grabs the miss. They can take their time on this possession.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just give themselves a little bit of a break.
Tucker finds Adebayo. Iguodala against Gobert. Kept alive. And it's Vucevic missing.
Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
Williams, that's good.
How about that shot? Not exactly something drawn up by the coaching staff.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Here's Vucevic, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one on Collins.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
And the second of 2 is good. That makes it a 7-point lead. And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Pistons. They've only given up 1 point in the fourth quarter. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Iguodala to the middle. Vucevic down low. Gobert on him. Now here's Iguodala. Dinwiddie covering. Iguodala with the bucket.
Oh, we've seen this so much throughout Andre Iguodala's career. Just a gamer who refuses to let the defense get to him.
Now here's Williams. And Gobert kicks to Williams. Off target with his three.
Just not sure if he ran out of energy at halftime or what, but so far just not himself in the second half.
Iguodala outside. Clark the pass to Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Denver with the ball. 11-point game. Vucevic with it. So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg.
Far from base, then we go to different places with no suitcase. But when we come back,